We need the right now. They're being so. You came at the wrong time. I just put all the books in. Hello and welcome to this home updates. So usually I don't like to film my home updates back to back, but because I was gone for a while, I feel like I have some things I want to catch up on and catch you up on. So yeah, we're doing a lot of little bits and bobs like we usually do around the apartment, but a major undertaking I am doing today is finishing the contact paper wrap on the divider in the living room. So we have this one that's done in the kitchen, and I want to finish it off in the living room. Also, you guys were so funny in my last video talking about my gym progress. Yeah, I've been going to the gym pretty consistently now for like 4 to 5 months, and I do see some change. I feel like I'm broader now, which is nice because my head is a bit larger than usual heads, so it helps to balance me out, I think. If you follow me on Instagram, then you already know about this first thing I'm gonna talk about. It is a very large addition in the living room. So going back to the mood board that I made for the living room, I always planned to have some type of graphic art piece right here above the console because, yeah, we need like a focal point in here, and I feel like above the console is the perfect place for it. So we have a very large painting. Most people liked it on Instagram, but some people were kind of iffy with it. It was sort of divisive. Maybe like 80% liked it, 20% didn't. I do feel like it's very much my style and like what I like. And also art is so subjective. Like people like so many different things. But yeah, okay, let's bring it out. I need Chris's help with it because it's quite large. And then once I have it out, I'll chat with you a little bit about it. Here it is. Chris is helping put it up. Oh, also, I feel like the camera doesn't really capture the colors of this all that well. So this painting is by an artist named William Shibley. He is one of my favorite artists, and I saw him a while back at an art fair, and Chris and I both loved his work, which is kind of rare for us to like both really love a certain style or a piece of art. William Shibley is from the Midwest, so you see a lot of that in his art. He'll paint scenes of like life in the Midwest with his family, self-portraits. He'll paint his brothers, and he also paints a lot of animals, which I like. And I also love the way that he paints trees. At the art fair, there was a piece that had a tree that looked just like this one here, and I just really love the shape of it. He does a lot of self-portrait work, so this is him right here with the mustache. And something that I love about his art, well, I love all of the colors that he uses. I feel like they're very within my palette. I also love that all of his pieces are either like kind of comical, or they're a bit quirky, or there's these like interesting scenarios that are happening within the pieces. So for example, here you see all of these animals that are in trees, and then over on this one, there's people in the tree with animals at the bottom with a ladder that fell down. And then there's him here, and he's doing a painting, and there's a little butt on the painting. On Instagram, I had some people say that it looked a bit scary to them. I don't see it as scary because I like know his other works, and like I've met him too. So yeah, he doesn't really give me like a scary vibe at all. But I see why people might think that with like the trees. I was a bit nervous because the painting is so large, so I mocked it up in Photoshop to scale to see what it would look like. And then I also left up a tape outline on the wall to see if I feel comfortable with a piece that large. I don't know how well the colors are showing up on camera, so I'll add in some other clips if I need to show the colors that are more true to life. Like I said, it was a bit divisive on Instagram. I'm curious to hear what you think, although I'm not gonna get rid of the painting because we really like it, but I'm always open to criticism and other people's perspectives as long as you're not like just being mean. So I'll read you one comment and then I'll read you my response, because I thought it was like an interesting perspective. So they said, "Love your content and sense of taste with decor. I'm surprised that I don't love the painting. I can see the talent of the artist clearly, and I think that human figures in paintings draw me in too much. Everything in the space is so subtle and nuanced, yet the painting overpowers everything. That said, I'm sure this will grow on me as I continue to watch your YouTube channel." So I honestly enjoy hearing like thoughts and critiques like this. This is a very nice comment. But I wanted to just like respond to share my perspective and my thought process when choosing this. So I said, I think everything in the space feeling subtle and nuanced is why I went for something graphic. There isn't a strong focal point in the apartment, which made it lack a bit in character. My hope was the color palette would ease the painting into the color scheme of the room and still stand out. And I feel like it does that really well. Like, even though the painting is strong and has a lot of character, the muted color palette really matches well with the muted color palette of the rest of the apartment. I also got some comments that I thought were interesting, saying like, Benji, this doesn't seem like your taste at all, but to me it is very much my taste. So yeah, I thought that was interesting. So we are in the bedroom right now, and I feel like you haven't seen this in such a long time. We haven't really done that much to it. I'll talk more about it in this video. But right now I just wanted to talk about our mattress, which is a Helix mattress, and they are the sponsor of this week's video. So Helix makes premium mattresses that are customized to fit your needs and are conveniently shipped to your door. We have the Helix Midnight Luxe, and it's the same mattress that we had at our old house and at our old apartment. So we've been sleeping on a Helix mattress for around 4 years now, and it is my favorite mattress that I've ever slept on. Helix offers a sleep quiz that matches you with your perfect mattress based on your body type and your sleeping positions. I'm a side sleeper and a back sleeper, so I like a mattress that is a little bit firm but still has some plushness and support on it. Something I really love about this mattress is that it holds its shape really well and it doesn't divot where you sleep, which is a problem that we had with our old mattress. It also has this quilted pattern on top that I really like. It just feels very luxurious and nice to the touch. Helix offers a 100-day sleep trial and a 10-year warranty. Chris and I are very satisfied with our mattress, but if for whatever reason you are not, Helix will come to your doorstep and pick up your return free of charge. Helix is running a sale right now, so if you are interested in upgrading your mattress, you can go to helixsleep.com/benjiplant for more information. So also in my plan for the living room, I had sconces that were supposed to be flanking the sides of the painting. And I've actually had these sconces for a while, but I was waiting for the painting to come before I put them up because I didn't know. I'm like crawling over with my knees right now. Okay, 1 second. Yeah, like I said, I got these a while ago, so I didn't know exactly what size the piece was that we were gonna put on the wall. But I really love these sconces. So this lamp is made by someone named Matt Alford. He has a studio and he makes very cool handmade lamps. These were a pair of sconces that he was selling to fundraise for the Trevor Project. And if you don't know, the Trevor Project is an LGBTQ charity. Yeah. I've been hearing about them like ever since I was a teenager. So yeah, I thought that was very cool. And what I love about this is that it has this little engraving on it that says, "I love you." And I think that's just so cute. I also really love this kind of switch. It's like a little tourney switch. There's probably a real name for that. I'm probably not called a tourney switch. It's beautiful when it's on. The only thing I'm a bit worried about is that it's kind of small. They're on the smaller side. So I feel like with the painting, these will just look so tiny because the painting is large scale and then these are kind of small. I'll put it up so you can see what it would look like. It also has this very beautiful like creamy off-white shade that looks beautiful when it's turned on. I'll also plug it in and turn it on for you so you can see what it looks like. If you're looking for plug-in sconces or hardwire sconces, check out Matt Alford. He's also a viewer. So hi Matt, if you're watching this. I'm finally getting around to talking about your lamps. But yeah, this is what it would look like. So one here, and then one on the other side. But I think it just might be a little bit too small. So an option that I was thinking of was we could put it in the bedroom, which we'll go and check it out soon. But I also really love this lamp, this large table lamp, and I don't really have another spot for it. So if we put these sconces up, would it, like, I think we would have to move the table lamp. But then if I move the table lamp, I have nowhere to put the table lamp. But would it look weird if we had sconces and then the big table lamp? I think it would. So that's kind of like my dilemma But these lamps are beautiful. So I definitely want to use these. Something that I like about this lamp too is that it emits a lot of light, and there's different settings. So there's the first setting, which is a bit dimmer, and then this is a lot brighter. So it's very practical too, because we don't really have like a large light source. So at night, this is really nice to have on. It's a bit dimmer than the table lamp, so I just don't know if it's as practical. Much to think about. I'll probably look at, when I'm editing this video, it'll help me decide, because then I can actually see better what it would look like, because it's hard to like see how it looks when you're standing right in front of it. Okay, but let's bring it into the bedroom, because that's the other option, because I also want wall sconces in the bedroom. We have this other light. This one is from Gantry. I just command stripped it up because we don't have any light source in the bedroom. There's no built-in light, so this is actually like the only light source, and it gets pretty dark in here because there's no windows. This lamp is more modern, and it's also dimmable, which is really nice for a bedroom. And the modern look is kind of like more what I was going for the bedroom, and the other sconces are more classic with the shade and the metal material. Just like ignore what's going on the shelf. We're just using it for storage right now. The other option is to use this sconce in the bedroom, which would also look pretty nice, but I don't know, this is my dilemma. It's a bit brighter, but I could also just get dimmer bulbs inside. What do you think? What do you think? Okay, now let's tackle the divider situation in the living room. I've kind of been dreading this because I feel like the material is going to be really hard to work with, but I'm going to do it. I am going to do it. And I'm going to change too, because sometimes I'm worried about this, about wearing t-shirts and the mic hitting stuff. So it's easier to position the mic if I have a button-up shirt, because then I can just clip it into where the buttons are. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna change. Be right back. This divider is built in, came with the apartment. It divides the bedroom and then the living room. So there isn't actually like a door here that separates these two rooms. We just have a curtain up top here and then a curtain over here that creates the division of space. So a while back, Drew came over and he did the kitchen makeover, covered up the white and then put that really nice warm wood vinyl over it. It took a really long time to finish up the kitchen, and then Drew said that he'd be able to come back and do this later once he had time, but Drew is just so busy, like he's such a busy person. And then I realized like, wait, I could probably just do it myself, right? I did these cabinet doors down here, but this is like a little bit more difficult and intricate, I think, than the cabinet doors, since the cabinet doors are just like one large rectangle. And I was waiting for him to do it because I'm like, oh, Drew can do it better. He is more skilled at this. It'll just look better if he does it. But then I was like, well, one, I don't want to use up his time. And then two, I want to learn how to do it too. I want to get better at this. I mean, even if it doesn't turn out the best, even if it's not perfect, I'll learn something. And if it's horrible, I can just redo it with the new knowledge that I've learned. So this is kind of related to this. So a couple of weeks ago, I was scrolling on Instagram Reels, as I do, and for whatever reason, Instagram decided to show me a bunch of really skilled creators who make amazing, cool things like woodworking, painting, ceramics. And I just started thinking like, these people are so cool, so creative, and so skilled. And I started to think kind of negatively about my own capabilities. And usually this isn't something that I feel. Like, I don't normally feel this way when I see people do something cool. I started to do a little bit of self-exploration and think more about these negative emotions that I'm feeling. And I've come to the conclusion that I think I just really respect people who are skilled at creation of any sort, just like creating physical objects from nothing. And yeah, I felt like some type of envy or jealousy of their skill. And then I started to think like, I want to see myself like that too. I want to think I'm cool and good at some type of creation skill. And then I was thinking like, what am I good at? So I'm pretty good with plants. I like to think I'm pretty good at interior styling, and I'm pretty good at filming and making videos that people like to watch. But none of those things are like tangible, physical creations that I created by myself that I can hold. I mean, with plants, it's more like cultivation. And with interior styling, it's more curation. So I'm like acquiring these objects and putting them together in a nice way. But I think I'm missing that creation aspect of it that I really want to feel. And I mean, I am creating the videos, but I'm not like able to hold my videos in my hands and be like, I made this. And I really want the satisfaction of feeling like I made this thing. So yeah, I said all this to say I am trying things that I think I may not be the best at. So for example, I'm gonna do this vinyl wrap, even though I'm not sure how it's gonna go. And I also am, it's a mission of mine to learn some skills. So I wanna learn how to sew, just simple stuff like I wanna know how to hem my pants and maybe how to make pillowcases. And then eventually down the line, I'd like to learn a little bit of woodworking. I think that'd be cool. Yeah, that's on my list of like things I want to learn how to do before maybe 2027. I like to keep my goals not super crazy, that way I can achieve them. And I think those are very attainable goals. Even if what I create doesn't turn out good, I still have something to show for it, and it can just be like my ugly baby. So speaking of like creation, I recently got this book. This is a book about creating stuff like this. So I bought some sweetgrass. Oh wait, I forgot this is a Japanese book, so I'm holding it the wrong way. Yeah, so I got this book to learn how to braid some stuff and create wall hangings is kind of why I wanted to get this. I want more cool little wall hangings. So I invited some of my friends over who are pretty crafty, and we're gonna do like a craft day, and we're gonna make these things, and they're a lot better at crafts than I am, so hopefully they can like teach me. Those friends, they know how to sew, they know how to make ceramics, they know how to make lamps and like cool stuff like that. So hopefully the craft night thing can become a regular thing that I do with them, and I can pick up a lot of their skills. Now let's finally get to working on this. So I'm gonna clear off the shelves, clean it a little bit, and then start putting it on. I'm gonna start with these shelves first, and then I'll get to this later because I don't wanna move the TV right now. Look at Winnie and Theo right now. They're being so cute. Okay, let's just move all of these books. Oh, I also recently finished reading Babel by R.F. Kuang. I really liked the first 3/4 of the book, and then the last quarter of the book, I don't know, I didn't love it, but I still enjoyed it. Okay, I finished clearing off the shelves, but Chris just came back home and he brought food, specifically a Subway sandwich. So I'm gonna eat and I'll be right back. You came at the wrong time. I just put all the books on the table. This is the leftover of the wrap that we have from when Drew was here. I don't know if it's gonna be enough because there's a lot of surface area to cover. And then we also have the other side that's in the bedroom, but we're not doing that side today. We're just gonna use what we have for right now, and then if we need more, we can get more. So you just need a box cutter and then scissors and then your wrap. Don't look at this mess. This is where I keep all of my camera stuff. Just pretend that's not there. I might have to take off this cabinet door so I can get along the side. Okay, I'm gonna do that really quick. I forgot that it comes off by just clipping it. First, you don't want to pull off all of the tape, or like all of the backing. I put it on, and now I'm just pulling off the backing as I'm smoothing this out. First little part done. Now you can just cut this off. Okay, now I'm going to do the rest of the sides. That feels like it took years off my life, honestly. That took a lot longer than I thought it would for one of the cubes. There's just so many little pieces of it that you have to work around. And then there are these little nails or like shelf brackets that I have to go around, which makes it very difficult. Honestly, props to Drew and Justin for wrapping the entire kitchen. I see why it took them like 3 days to finish it. That took so much out of me, but I think for the next shelves, I'll be able to be a bit faster and do it more efficiently now that I've learned from my mistakes. But I mean, from far away, it looks pretty good. I'm gonna take you off the tripod. The most difficult part by far is this top part. Like, this was so hard for me to do. You can see here, those are the shelf brackets, and yeah, it's so messed up here. But this area of the shelf you can't really see, but this one is visible, and so is the one above it, so I need to nail that. Well, not nail it, but just make it look not horrible. So you can see here where like one part of the contact paper starts and one part of it ends right there, but it's gonna be covered up by books, so you won't even be able to see the seams. Okay, I'm about 3/5 of the way done. I'm gonna just like lock in right now and finish it. I'm gonna put some YouTube on to keep me company. Okay, I'll see you on the other side. So we finished the shelving area and it actually looks pretty good. I'm pretty proud of myself. There was this one point where I was really struggling with doing it and Chris was like, do you wanna just wait for Drew to come and do it? And I was like, no, I will do this myself. And we did it. It looks good from a little bit farther back, but when you like really inspect it, you can see all the spots where I had to like patch it up. I think once the books are on it and once things are on it, then your eyes really aren't going to be drawn to my small mistakes. As you can see, the shelves are a bit full. So eventually we're gonna have shelving above the desk area. I mean, I've talked about this probably so much in my videos, but that is something I'm planning to do eventually. So our shelves will be less full. Probably in 2 days, I'll return to this and finish it. Look at them right now. Look at Winnie and Theo. He's being so bad. Where's your toy? Where's your toy, Theo? Where's your toy, Theo? See you in 2 days. Okay, we are back. And this time I'm in a t-shirt and shorts because it was so hot yesterday. It's just been really hot in LA the past couple of days. And when I film, I have to turn off the AC, otherwise the AC is super loud. So we're in comfy clothes today. But yeah, look at the shelf. It honestly looks way better than I expected it to look. Chris is gonna take Theo out on a walk right now and I need his help to move the TV to put the contact paper on the divider. So let's just chat about my plants right now. This is a plant that I've wanted for such a long time. I got this before I went to Asia. This is a Monstera White Monster from Kunzo. Kunzo is a grower in Japan who I'm such a fan of. He's this older Japanese man that has such a funny sense of humor and he seems very chill. And I love his plant tour that he did with Only Plants. And this was one of my favorite plants that he has. These are like widely tissue cultured now, and before they were so expensive. This one I was told isn't a tissue culture. This is directly from Kunzo. If you're familiar with like a Florida Ghost, it's sort of similar to that, where the leaf will come out pretty white with some like green veination like this. And then over time, it'll fade to more of a green like this. These were reverted leaves, these two. But what's really cool about the White Monster is that if you have two leaves that are reverted, if you cut it back, and then the new growth should be variegated. So Kunzo, that's what Kunzo said, and apparently it's very reliable in its variegation. And we have a new leaf, can you see it? We have a new leaf coming out right there. I love this kind of variegation. It's more like minty type, and I also like that it's not sectoral, because with sectoral variegation, I always get browning, like I just don't know a way around it. But because this isn't sectoral, the leaves stay pristine, which I like. And then here's my Hemicaupathus that we repotted not that long ago. I love this one. It honestly is kind of like the same thing as the white monster, where it comes out white and then it fades to a green. I just like when plants change over time. It just makes them a bit more interesting to watch, and it's growing so fast. I forgot how fun it is to grow pothos because they're just so easy and reliable. Here's the last one I wanted to show you. It is my Spermania africana, grown a lot. I didn't even realize how much it's grown until I watched one of my old videos just to get some screenshots. And yeah, when I got it, it was so small. And look how big it is now. I'm dealing with a bit of spider mites, unfortunately, but I think I got it figured out. Fingers crossed. Something I wanted to show you is this cord cover that I got on Etsy. At first when I put it on, I was like, I don't know. It looks a bit weird, but I kind of like it now. It just covers up the black cord that was really visible, and I don't even look at it. Like it just feels like it's hidden now. And I think it's kind of cute in a way. And it's not very expensive on Etsy. I mean, you could probably make it if you know how to sew and stuff pretty easily, but I don't know how to do that yet. So yeah, I'll link the cloth cover in the description. I wouldn't go overboard and like cover every single cord, but just cords that really stick out to you. And there are a bunch of different colors and stuff too that you can choose. I just chose this one because I felt like it matched the color palette and everything. Okay, Chris is back from the walk, so let's move the TV. I've talked about this before, but usually I don't like using I don't like faux materials, like materials that try and look like something else. Like this, for example, but honestly, this one looks pretty good. And we're doing a faux material to cover up another faux material, so it's not like we're covering something that actually looks nice. The white is like a vinyl wrap on wood, and for whatever reason, they decided to do a distressed white look on it, which just doesn't look great in my opinion. I have to remind myself that our TV is going to cover up a lot of this, so I feel like the imperfections won't be as noticeable since a lot of it will be obstructed by the TV. Fingers crossed. I don't like using the credit card. I was having issues with it like folding on itself, so I'm using the palm of my hand, and what helps it from like creating bubbles and folding on itself is going like down and then out instead of going straight down. So when I was using my hand, if I started to sweat, then there would be a lot of friction from the sweat. So I was like, wait, why don't I try putting a sock on my hand? Look how easily my hand just glides. So I'm gonna have a sock on my hand for the rest of the time I'm doing this. Some of the YouTubers that I've really been enjoying lately, like that I get inspired by, who are very good at making things. One is Rajiv. He is just like a Renaissance man. He can literally do anything. He can do pottery, he can do calligraphy, painting, plays music. He's very impressive. And then there's also Rachel and June. I love their channel. I feel like that, like when I'm older, if I still have my YouTube channel, what they do is kind of what I'd want to do. They have a bunch of cats and animals, and Rachel's been working on like woodworking and stuff, so a lot of the times they'll have a scenario where they're like, we want a cat tree, and then they just like make a cat tree, or like we want a feeding area, and then they just make a feeding area. It's very impressive to me. I'm putting down this piece, and look at how smoothly, well, hopefully it goes smoothly, but look at how seamlessly it blends in the other piece. Some other YouTubers I've been enjoying, I have this little notebook that I've been writing in. Some other YouTubers I've been enjoying are Shauna Rochelle. She lives in the UK, I believe, and I really like her style, and she makes or thrifts almost everything that she uses. So I really like that. And then the other one is Reissued. He's working on his house with his parents right now. And yeah, he just did this really cool mural in his library room. So he built all the shelves, painted the floors, painted the walls, painted the shelves. It's very impressive. He's a good one to follow. Oh, hi, Winnie. Okay, I finished putting it all on. Finally, that took so much longer than I thought it would, but I am very pleased with how it turned out, and honestly, a bit proud of myself. Yeah, I'm like so drained. Okay, now we're gonna put the TV back on. Okay, so we finished it, and the TV is back. It's pretty late now, so we have the overhead lights on. I'm gonna add in some B-roll from tomorrow morning so you can see what it looks like with the painting, with the divider all warmed up. It's so much warmer now. Like, I really like how this feels. I feel like I'm very confident now in contact papering anything. Learned a lot of skills. And yeah, overall, pretty proud of myself. Cue the B-roll. And thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Okay, now cue the B-roll. For real.